Did me dirty, girl. Oh, come on. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Cordy. Guess what? It is the first mystery box of 2026. So I am very excited for today's video because one thing over the last couple of years you've been asking for is for all of us to have the same supplies in the box. Now, while this particular mystery box isn't going to tackle that, I really want to make that happen this year. So I am going to try to work out the logistics in one of the mystery boxes. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that to you guys this year. But today's video is kind of a little appetizer to that. So a group of YouTubers, we got together, and the difference in this mystery box is we are grouped up in pairs, and we have a certain item that we have to craft with, and then we send 2 challenge items to our partner. So let's take a look at the pair ups and what items we have to work with. So here are the pair ups. Whitney kind of helped me come up with this idea. So Whitney and Courtney are paired together, and we have to use fabric. Kelly and Christina are paired. They use popsicle sticks. Lisa and Linda are paired. They use felt. And then Tracy and Emily, and they use dowel rods. We have to make 4 projects, and we can work the challenge items into any of the projects. So that is what we're doing this round. So who did I send my box to? I sent it to Whitney. Who sent me my box? Whitney. So that's going to be super fun for this round. Now don't forget, there is a playlist down below. I have grouped it by pairs, so it will make sense if you watch it down in a row. But for now, let's dive into this very pretty box that Whitney has wrapped for me and see what she sent me. I feel like I should sing happy songs and think of happy things. All right. All right, oh, okay. There we go. Okay, here we go, everybody. All right. Y'all, I don't know about this. Okay, Whitney, let's see what you got going on, girlfriend. All right, here's a card. I'm just gonna pull everything out real quick. Cute paper, 1 item wrapped. 2 item wrapped. She sent bribes. What did she send? Oh no, she didn't. Oh, oh my god, I love that. Is this a bribe? Because it's working. Thank you, Whit. This is so cute. Oh my god, I love this. I love this. I love it. All right, let me look at the card. Good friends listen, best friends bring coffee. I knew something great was brewing when I met you. Hey, hey, Bessie. So we meet again. Best of luck with these. Remember, you started the crafty war. I'm just finishing it. You will laugh, enjoy. Love you, Whitney. Also, send a peace offering. The back is for you. Thank you for the bag. Okay. I mean, you know what? I say bring it because I was not nice to Whitney. I flat out told her I was not nice to her. So, okay, here we go. 2. Let's go with this one. This feels like a bottle of soap or like a dish soap or something. No. Is it a bottle of soap? Whitney, did me dirty, girl. Oh, come on. It's one thing. What the heck? Glitter glue. Bad enough that it's glue, but it has glitter in it. Okay. 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 I'm gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make this work. Now this is squishy, so I'm feeling a little better about this one. What? Okay, this isn't terrible, actually. This is not bad. This is not bad at all. I mean, it's a little Easter placemat. Okay, so I'm guessing it's like rectangular. Ooh, let's see. Okay. Okay, this is not terrible, Whitney. You were nicer to me than I was to you. I'll admit it. I'll admit it right here on camera. Okay, so there you go. So these are my 2 challenge items that I have to work into my 4 projects. I can work into any one of them that I want. And yeah, I think we're ready. So let's get this party started. I'm excited to tackle this project because it has been on my to-do list for forever. I've been wanting to make a cover for my Bible. You can grab any book that you want. The procedure that you will use to make this cover is going to be the same no matter what. So grab your book. And what we need to do is first we have to start with measuring it so we know how to cut our fabric. So the first thing you want to do is grab yourself a tape measure, and you want to take that tape measure and put it on the edge of the book and wrap it all the way around to the other edge of the book. Once you get that measurement, for me it was 15, you're going to add 8 inches to that. Okay, again, it really doesn't matter what size your book is, you're going to add 8 inches. Then you want to measure the top to bottom of the book, and you're going to add 1 inch. Same thing, it doesn't matter what your measurement is from the top to the bottom, you want to add 1 inch. Then you want to get your fabric pieces cut out. I'm going to be using 2 pieces of fabric. These came from Hobby Lobby. They are actually ones that they always have in stock. All of the fabric I'm using today is just that. It's from Hobby Lobby and it's always on their wall of everyday fabrics. Now that my 2 pieces of fabric are cut, I'm going to put them pretty side to pretty side, and then I am going to use my mini heat press and press out any creases or little folds that are in the fabric. Then I will take some pins and I will just pin around to get these 2 pieces together. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this to my machine. I'm going to use my sewing machine, but you don't have to. If you don't want to sew, you could use fabric glue, fabric hot glue, or even hem tape. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way around, leaving a small 3 to 4 inch opening at the bottom. Here it is all stitched up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around first and snip the corners, just take off a little bit. And then I'm also going to trim off any extra fabric on my seam allowances, just so it's not bulky on the edges. Then I will turn it right side out, and I will use my little tool here and go in and kind of run it along the seams and poke out those corners. Once that's all done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my heat press and I'm just going to go on all 4 sides, pressing down on the seams, and on the opening I'm just going to kind of fold the fabric in and press that down. Then what I need to do is just take this back to my machine and close up that hole. I'm just doing a top stitch right on the top fabric, no big deal, and then I'm ready for the next step. Now we need to wrap this around the book so that we can do the little flaps. And so for this, you're just going to kind of put your book in the center of this piece of fabric and then fold the sides over and go ahead and close your book. You want to make sure that it's closed and that you've got those pieces folded over. And then I'm going to use some little clips here and clip it so I know exactly where I need to sew those edges. So once that is clipped up and ready to go, I'm going to pull the cover off. Again, take it back to my machine, and I'm just doing a top stitch to close the little flaps on the side. So I'll do a stitch on the top, a stitch on the bottom, and then on the back side as well. So now I've got these little pockets that I can slide my book cover into. So I've got my cover on the book. It fits nice and snug, so good, and I'm not done yet. So this past week I actually hosted a craft night for my friends. We bejeweled books, and so I'm actually going to use my hot fix tool for this, which is a little bit different with the bejeweling. I'm not using glue because it is fabric, and so I'm going to put some little jewels on this, just on the front part of this, just to add a little sparkle. And y'all, it looks so good. It's hard to pick it up on camera, but in the light, it just has little hints of sparkles. I will definitely link everything from today's video down below. This was a whole kit that I got on Amazon for like $20. It came with the jewels and the little hot fix tool, and this beautiful cover is done. Now you could do so much more. You could add a ribbon bookmark to this. You could add a ribbon tie closure if you wanted to. Lots of options, but I absolutely love how this turned out. is a very easy project for you. I picked up this lighted Easter egg garland at Dollar Tree and thought I could kind of fancy it up a little bit by adding some fabric. So I popped over to Hobby Lobby, picked out some yellow, pink, green fabric and blue, and then I also picked up a plaid. All of the colors are on their everyday wall except for this plaid fabric that was in their little special Easter section. And I grabbed my pinking shears and just started to cut strips that were about 1 inch wide and about 10 inches long. I want this to kind of be shabby chic, so I really wasn't worried about measurements. I ended up cutting 11 pieces. And I doubled up because I wasn't sure how full I wanted it to. So I did cut 11 pieces because that's the gaps between the eggs. Once I got all my strips cut, this was the easy part. I bunched them together, wrapped it around the cord, and then just took one of these little clear hair bands to kind of secure it. And then it was just a matter of kind of pulling the fabric apart and fluffing it up. I can't quite decide if I want to trim it down a little bit, but I absolutely love this little addition to this garland. I just think it's so cute. Grab one of these large eggs from Dollar Tree, make sure that the bottom part is flat, and then this fabric, guess what? It's from Hobby Lobby, and it is another one that is available all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this thing with some fabric. So I decided to make my strips about 2 inches. I'm not using my pinking shears to cut this. I'm just using my scissors. And for the top part of the egg, I want to start at the top of the egg and then have the fabric be long enough that I can also cover the inside of the egg. So I'm going to cut my strips. Once I get those cut, then it's just time to have fun with some Mod Podge. I'm using matte Mod Podge and I'm just working in sections. I'm putting down some Mod Podge, then putting my fabric down and making sure that I press those edges with the Mod Podge, really get it attached to the egg. Work my way all the way around the outside of the egg. Then on the inside, just fold it up and do the same thing. It's just putting Mod Podge on the inside and sticking that fabric to it. For the bottom part, same thing. This one, I don't need to cover the entire inside because the bottom part's going to be blocked. So I only had the fabric go onto the inside, I don't know, a couple of inches, but it's the same process. You just take this strip. I started on the bottom of the egg, put a little bit of fabric, Mod Podge, and you know the drill. Just completely get it all nice and sealed with some Mod Podge. Next, I took the placemat and cut a circle out of it. And originally I was going to stick it to a piece of foam board and stick it in the egg to kind of give it a little more structure. But the foam board was causing problems inside the egg. So I ended up taking it back off the foam board and then just sticking this piece of grass inside of the egg. Now, this part took a little bit of finagling because the egg had to kind of sit a certain way on top of the base, like the top part. So what I did is I took some chiffon ribbon and on the sides, well, it's a round shape. There's no sides. Direct opposites on the egg. Originally, I was going to try to put hinges on this because I wanted the top to kind of open and close. That didn't work because my hinges were too small. So I did take some chiffon ribbon. I cut 4 pieces of that and I glued one to the base, one to the top piece, and then I was able to tie those together for a bow. And then the opposite side of the egg, I did the same thing. I glued chiffon ribbon to the inside of the base piece, to the inside of the top piece, and then I was able to tie those two together and tie a bow. So this can be displayed like this, and then when you open it up, or you could even open it up and leave it open and put a display in there, make it a candy jar if you wanted to, or just present this as, an Easter gift to somebody. here with this very special challenge item. Thanks again, Whitney. Really love it. And I just stared at it for, I don't even know, 10 minutes probably trying to figure it out. And all I could see was a vase. So I decided to cut off the top because I really hadn't destroyed much in this video. So I figured, I need to cut something up. So I used my hot knife to cut off the tip of the vase. And what I was thinking was, have you ever seen those fake plants? Like they sell them at Home Goods and Hobby Lobby where it has the fake water in it. It kind of is like jelly looking. You know what I'm talking about? Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's kind of what I thought I could pull off here. So I started putting florals in it. No, could not. No. It did not look right at all. And then I was like, well, I gotta work fabric into this. So I grabbed a piece of that plaid fabric, just a very rough piece, pulled it up around the little vase, and then secured it at the kind of top of the vase with one of those little clear rubber bands. Then taking my pinking shears, I just started trimming kind of willy-nilly. I wasn't trying to make it, even or what have you. I just kind of had fun trimming it. And then once I got it pulled together, I thought to myself, why didn't I make fabric flowers for this? I could have made some fabric tulips, some fabric roses. So guess what? That video will be coming soon and we'll update this little sucker with some fabric flowers. But for now, this really did turn out super cute. I mean, you could even add some little fairy lights into this. This is a great size piece just to have, on a table for Easter or to gift it to a host or something like that. But I am really happy with how this turned out. That will wrap up today's mystery box. Let me know down below which one of these projects was your favorite, and then let me know this. What would you have made with some fabric and the challenge items, that glitter glue and that nice green grass placemat? I would love to know. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Here are some more videos you might want to check out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!